Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video let's talk about the iQOO 3. So you might be wondering, iQOO 3 is a smartphone launched in Feb 2020. Now why are we talking about this smartphone right now, almost like after 7 to 8 months down the lane? But why we are talking about the iQOO 3 is that now the pricing of the iQOO 3 8GB RAM and 128GB storage variant is just 29,999. This makes iQOO 3 the cheapest Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 powered device, along with LPDDR5 RAM and UFS 3.1 support. So these are very rare things, or rather you don't get any smartphone below the 30,000 price segment with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core processor. So that's what makes iQOO 3 a really great buy. So we'll be looking at all the aspects. We have been using this device in the last few months, and we'll be sharing our long-term experience, how it has improved and how good is the device for this price segment. So let's get started. So if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's get started into the detailed review. Now if you look at the design and build quality aspect of the iQOO 3, so when the iQOO 3 was launched, we mentioned that this is not a very lightweight or handy device. It's slightly on the bigger side, thickness, the weight, everything looks slightly on the higher side. That's probably one of the cons of this device. But having said that, the design definitely looks good. You can see one of the smallest punch hole cameras out there. Almost like a bezel-less experience you get, and you can see that the punch hole is on the right side. You don't get any interferences from the punch hole, and you get the complete display area. It's one of the really good designs out there. Now you also get the power button with an orange kind of finish, which gives a sporty feel. You also get these trigger buttons for gaming experience, and the quad camera setup on the back panel. It's a glass finishing with a slight pattern iQOO branding. It's a well-built phone. Actually, it's a solid, well-built phone. There is also Gorilla Glass support, and you can see that even after 6 months, or rather 8 months, you can't see any sort of scratches on the display nor on the back panel. So it is really good and well protected, and we have been using without any case in this time, and you could see that no scratches are formed. So it's pretty good in terms of the build quality offered, and the design is a bit heavier device, but overall we feel once you start using it, you won't feel that. But compared to some other phones, it might be slightly heavy and slightly bulky. You can see the thickness is slightly on the higher side. Now talking about the display, so this device comes with a 6.44 inches full HD resolution display. It's a super AMOLED display. Now one of the downside of the iQOO 3, when it was launched, we mentioned that this does not support 90 Hz or higher refresh rate. It is just 60 Hz refresh rate. That is definitely one of the downsides when it was launched. But now at 30K price segment, it is still one of those smartphones which does not have 90 Hz refresh rate. So you can actually feel that difference here when especially if you're coming from a 90 Hz refresh rate, you can actually feel that. But then having said that, the AMOLED panel on this device is really good. It's a super AMOLED panel, great viewing angles, excellent touch response, and overall the display quality is definitely good on this device. Probably the only downside that it does not support 90 Hz refresh rate. Next, moving on to the software experience. So this device runs on Android 10, and we have the iQOO UI. Now iQOO UI is a more or less fun touch OS. It's a more of a refined UI, and if you go to the My Device, you can see iQOO UI. It has a lot of resemblance to the Vivo's Fun Touch OS, but then when Fun Touch OS was having the navigational experience completely different from the stock Android, iQOO UI has more or less similar experience. You can see that you can just pull down and you can see the notification toggles and the quick toggles rather, and the notification area, which is quite similar to any other smartphone. Then you have the iQOO UI version. You can see that this is the version, and this runs on Android 10 actually. We are not really sure about the Android 11 update. Probably this would definitely get the Android 11 because it's more of a flagship device. Now you can also see that it's Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core processor. Now if you look at the software experience, we feel this is definitely good. We don't see any major issues as such. Now we have seen many people complaining that the iQOO UI was not really the great experience, especially in our channel. But then having used this device, we didn't find any major issues. as it might not be as user friendly as the Oxygen OS or the One UI, but it provides all the features. You can see that a lot of dynamic effects are there, customization options are there, additional features. There is separate game mode which provides game turbo. Then you can set the system navigational options, then RAM and storage space management. Then additional options are also included. If you look at the system management, you can see multi-turbo, S capture mode, smart split screen. All those things are included, like phone cloning. So it is well featured in terms of features being offered, and it is quite a good UI, and we expect iQOO to roll out the Android 11 update pretty soon. So software experience is definitely good, and one important thing about this device which we forgot to mention is that when we did the RAM management test with a lot of devices, we have videos on our channel, we found that the iQOO was one of the fastest in terms of app opening, and memory management was really solid on this device. So in that aspect, we feel iQOO has done a really good job here with respect to memory management and optimizing the software experience. Now talking about the performance side, so this is again one of the highlights. This is probably the only smartphone right now with Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core processor with UFS 3.1 and LPDDR5 RAM, and you get 128GB storage and 8GB RAM for 29,999. That's one of the best deals you can get in terms of hardware experience. If you are a gamer, or if you want the best experience on your smartphone, then without doubt below 30,000 rupees you can't get a better deal than this, because Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 is the latest device, latest processor, and the fastest for Android ecosystem. Now talking about the gaming experience, we have done a detailed gaming video. You can also check out that video to see how the performance has been. It's really solid in terms of performance, especially in terms of gaming. Also, it has been a stellar performer with the ultra game mode included. So that way also it is really good in terms of gaming experience. Now it also has hi-fi audio chip. It's a dedicated chip which provides great sound output as well. So in that aspect also it is well equipped. Now there is also dual VoLTE, 4G LTE. Now this variant, which is being sold below the 30,000 price segment, does not have 5G, but then that's not a major concern, because we feel India does not have 5G as of now. It will again take another 2 years for 5G rollout. So probably you can use this device still without any sort of issues for 2 years, even with the 5G rollout coming later. So that's the connectivity and options. Now talking about the camera, so this is one important aspect. When we reviewed the camera back in February 2020, we mentioned that the cameras are kind of above average. It may not be the best out there. You get a 48 megapixel Sony sensor, then you get a 13 megapixel telephoto lens and a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and a macro sensor, and on the front panel you get a 16 megapixel punch hole selfie camera. Now you can have a look at the camera samples. There have been multiple updates for the iQOO UI, and we feel that iQOO has done a pretty good job in terms of optimizing the camera. Now from February 2020 now to November 2020, if you look at the camera experience, it has definitely improved. Now again, it may not be the best deal you might get for a camera smartphone, but it is definitely a camera which you won't be disappointed. There are some shortcomings, like the saturation levels are slightly on the high side, but nevertheless for 30k we feel iQOO's camera UI definitely does a pretty good job. Now the daylight shots have great sharpness levels, colors kind of slightly vivid and saturated, but not a major concern. The telephoto lens works really well, and you also get a pretty good ultra wide angle camera, and portraits are pretty good, macros are again pretty good, and low light experience again kind of above average experience, but not a disappointing one altogether, and selfies are also kind of okayish performance. So overall we feel iQOO's camera is definitely above average, and it has improved over a period of time, and we feel at 30,000 price segment it definitely is kind of an okayish camera. Now finally, the battery life. So the device comes with a 4440 mAh capacity battery, and you get 55 watt fast charging, which is again very good. Now 55 watt fast charging you get on, or rather 65 watt fast charging you get on Realme devices. It is almost equivalent to that speed. 55 watt does a really good job here, and the battery performance is again stellar on this device, so you don't have to worry about battery life on the iQOO 3. So now summing up, so we have covered all the aspects and how good the device is for 30,000 price segment, And we feel if you are looking for a great device with exceptional power, great experience, good display, good solid build quality, and great for gaming, without doubt the iQOO 3 is one of the best picks below the 30,000 price segment. Now the 8GB RAM and 120GB storage variant with LPDDR5 and UFS 3.1 and Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 is priced 29,999. So if you plan to buy this device, we'll have the link in the description of this video. It's one of the really powerful devices you can get below 30,000 price segment. So that was the detailed review after almost like 8 months of launch of the iQOO 3. So hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.